Hi, this video is milestone 1 of CST 341. JavaScript war game based with Uno cards. Uh, Basically, the hot points for this particular one were uh, having a favicon, um, showing the initial game, showing who wins, showing a tie, tooltips, and optional was an auto draw feature. So I guess I'll go ahead and get right into it. We'll first thing I'll cover is the favicon because that seems the easiest thing to do. I just have it here in a folder called favicon, and just have the two. I didn't really go nuts because I guess you can get a bunch of different sizes for the different variations for websites and devices that they're going to be viewed on. But for now, I just left it as that because that seemed more than sufficient. I did modify the cardinfo.js file. I included a title for every card that'll come in place with the tooltips, which I did add a tooltip. We can see, like right now, it's just saying card back because we're on the back of the card. Also, I did modify the cards. I just wanted something that looked a little bit more true to like an Uno deck. So I found somebody online who had a PNG of all the cards on one file, and then I just separated them out, made them look more like cards there. So um, that was another change I had made that previously wasn't made before. So let's see. Pretty much the only other change I made there, besides these two. I guess we'll go with the layout on the page first. So in the head, I've got linked the bootstrap. I've also got linked um, the file for the scripts, for the regular JavaScripts, and then the card info script, as well as my favicon. I retitled this Uno War Game. Let's see. So we have just a series of divs, and basically just containers within. So I have a header. I use the background. I'll show you the CSS for the gradient in a minute. And then here we're doing the columns with the rows. So in order for these to look the way they do, I stuck the player name, the card, all in the same box. That way they move with each other. So this is just split up as column 6. So they take up equal amount of space, and then to get them in the center, I did float right and float left, depending on the card. So float right would be player 1, float left would be player 2. So that's going to basically merge it to the middle of the page, but to the left and to the right of each column, respectively, in the row. So it makes it look nice and clean. And then the buttons and the status are just down here in another set of divs. This one's called game. So you have the draw button first with the status of draw cards, and then the autoplay button that says auto draw. Scripts. So here's the I never changed the name, it's still called RNG. So basically what happens in this in this script is I didn't even cover that part. So I have player 1 here. This is the image. I have it ID'd as player 1, and then player 2's card is ID'd as P2. So when we go over here, we're identifying, P1 math random to get their number, and then we are setting node to equal get element by ID P1, and then we're basically converting the value and the file name and the title. That'll happen when we do the tooltips. And then get value comes into effect for comparing the cards. I also have console logs so that I could see everything as it was happening and verify it was working. P2 is the same exact thing as P1, and then once these two things happen, the evaluation happens. So we're just doing card info P1 value is greater than P2, then player 1 wins, and that'll log. If it's less than, player 2 wins, that'll log, and then if it's equal, then it'll tie and it'll log that. Which I'll go ahead and show here. Drag this over. So when we hit draw, right, we get our generated numbers, and then this is the information that we have set. So we see file name, value, and then the title of it. And then we have the evaluation that player 1 wins. So also demonstrating tooltips now, we can see when we hover over on the 4, it says blue 4. And then on the skip, it's red skip. And then if we hit draw again, right? So we have 2 and 3 this time. We can see player 2 obviously wins on that hand. And then we get green 2 and green 3, just like we should. And you get wild 4, green 9. Obviously they win because of the values. There's a tie. You see they're both green 7s. It's nice and easy. There we go. There's a different tie. I just wanted to show you that they do indeed read differently. So that's that part. Now, when it comes to the autoplay button, it is set up so that it calls on this function called autoplay, which is here. Then I have a variable called play. That's null by default. And if it is null, then the button knows to go ahead and switch the button inner text to stop, and then it'll go ahead and set play to the interval for RNG at 3000 milliseconds, which is just 3 seconds. And it'll keep doing that until we click the button again. At that point, what will happen is it will go ahead and it'll run through this again. Play won't be null at this time because play is equal to this interval. So it'll go ahead and that's old code there. It'll go ahead and switch it back to text to say auto draw, and then it'll run this function here called stop, which clears the interval of play, and then resets play back to null. So it will go ahead and stop the play. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate that with the console. So this is default screen again. Hit auto draw, changes it to stop, and we know it's working because we got a number here. And we can see every 3 seconds it's running through just like I'm clicking draw. And then if I want to stop it, I click stop. And then we can see the console logs that play again is null, which effectively stops the interval from running, right? And we can hit it again, and we get a number again, which means that the interval's set. It's going to run, it'll keep running, and we can stop it, and we can keep running through as many times as we like. We can rerun that, draw cards in between. I mean, it works really well, considering I kind of fell into it. It works really well. As far as the banner, it is scalable based on the size of the window. So I mean, it is going to get really small at a certain point. I'm trying to figure this part out, so to maintain a minimum width, because I really don't want it to get much smaller than that, I don't think. And the cards are like a fixed size. I think it's probably due to the columns, because when I didn't have them in the columns, they would adjust with size. But I mean, as we can see, they stay together and they don't move. So that's always nice. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Until next time, hooey ho.